It is literally impossible to buy a house right now.
Oh my God, I love going to work and working full time.
18% increase in homelessness year over year, the number one reason we don't have enough affordable housing.
We need to get a house flipping law because this investor house flipping BS.
So I'm currently looking for a new place in Toronto, and
banks and how the banks are scared of what to do, what action to take right now because they have a list.
A one-bedroom apartment you cannot afford on an average single fixed income. The average one-bedroom apartment is now priced for 2 people. So if you are a single person on a single income, you probably cannot afford a one-bedroom apartment because that is how broken our society is. We have decided to maximize profits for shareholders, which cuts wages for employees, and we also made it basically impossible to build housing, which made all of the cost of housing to skyrocket. So people are getting paid less, housing is costing more, and you need 2 incomes to afford a single bedroom apartment.
Oh my God, I love going to work and working full time and still not being able to afford a house. I love that so much. Thank you, world.
Many of us hardworking people in our communities will never be able to start our own lives because of how high housing prices have gotten recently. It's very discouraging to want to get up every day when most of us simply just want to have a place to call home. But that isn't happening because housing prices will keep growing to unaffordable prices. Take a look at these videos and let me know what you think in the comments below. The housing market keeps getting worse.
Home prices are too high. Okay, they're too expensive, they're too high. And you get these boomers who will tell you, they're like, well, like, you know, interest rates were 15% in the 80s when I was buying a home and I was your age, when I was 29. And, you know, you just got to pull yourself out by your bootstraps. Absolutely not, okay? Here's some numbers I tell these people, and I tell my mom. She always asks me, she's like, oh, why don't you own a home? I had 4 by the time I was 29. Here's why, okay? Median price of a home compared to income in America was 3.5 in the 80s. Now it's 5, okay? Facts. Let's see, since 2020, home prices have risen almost 50% and real income is like 20%. Just another number for you. Think about it. Lastly, you've got like 60% of the people who are locked into these amazing rates at like 3 or 4%, and they're not moving anytime soon. And when you compile all that together, you're getting crazy high demand still for prices, low inventory. And if you took any economics class and understood supply and demand, you'd understand that's going to constitute some pretty high prices. My mom's response when I tell her all this, she's like, well, you know what I didn't have? A Netflix subscription, so maybe you should get rid of that. After all this information I gave her, that was her response. It's actually not even a good investment to buy a home, just saying.
It is literally impossible to buy a house right now. I currently work 3 jobs. My girlfriend works 2 jobs. We have a bunch of money saved up, and I still cannot buy a house. Otherwise, we'll be completely house poor. I'm so sick of this. I'm so tired of it. We've been working so hard for so long. Both of our credit scores are 700 plus, 720 plus, and we're working our butts off. All we want to do is start our life, live our life, and we can't do it. I'm so tired of it. And now we find out that the money that we've been paying for taxes all this time is going to stuff that it shouldn't have gone to. I don't know how much more I can take, man. I don't know how much more I can take. Like, when is the American dream going to be feasible again? When is it going to be okay to work hard to get good things in life? With both of us combined, 5 jobs, and we can't afford a house. I'm so done, man.
18% increase in homelessness year over year, the number one reason we don't have enough affordable housing. And what you're going to get are a bunch of politicians jumping on the microphone saying, this is a housing crisis, and I don't believe a word that they say. This seems to be the only crisis in America that requires absolutely no action, and it makes no sense. If you're an elected official and you call this a housing crisis, you should be legally obligated to show the receipts on what you've done to actually solve for it, like you do every other crisis. What have you done to create incentives so that people want to build affordable housing? We know the housing market isn't going to create it, because the housing market, it makes profitable housing, not affordable housing. So if the government doesn't jump in, no one's going to do it, and you know that. What have you done to get rid of archaic and stupid zoning rules that prevent the creation of affordable housing? Why are you catering to people who are worried about the character of a neighborhood when you have actual people in those neighborhoods who are experiencing homelessness? They are the priority, not the character people, not that we can't build over 3 stories tall. Stop listening to that nonsense. What have you done with the budget you are in control of? State, county, and city, because that's it. If they're not creating affordable housing, nobody is. So they don't get to call it a crisis until they actually respond like it's a crisis.
We need to get a house flipping law because this investor house flipping BS needs to be regulated stat. A very moderate idea. I feel like this is a moderate plan, is if it is not your primary residence, you purchase a place, it's not your primary residence, you should have to sit on it for 18, maybe 24 months. I don't know. I don't have all the kinks worked out before you are allowed to sell it. People are buying these houses all cash, which nobody who actually needs to live in a house can compete with all cash offers. And then they put down some laminate, paint it green or gray or whatever the flipper color du jour is, and then they sell it for $500,000 or $700,000 more, and it's destroying the middle class chance of owning a home and driving up the housing crisis. So I would really like to hear other opinions, other ideas for some kind of house flipping regulations. What do you got?
So I'm currently looking for a new place in Toronto, and I just wanted to show you guys some of the listings I came across, because at what point do we draw the line? Because we are literally living in hell right now, okay? So the first one here, room for rent, sharing in parentheses. Oh, look at that though. You get 2 bottles of wine and your own sleeping bag. So yeah, this is a steal. Definitely recommend. Okay, we got another great option here, because who doesn't love sleeping next to a complete stranger in what looks like a dungeon, essentially, and only for $500. So great deal again. Okay, next up we have another great option here, 1 bed, 1 bath flat. I love this boho chic Guantanamo Bay prison style setting here. I think it's amazing, such a great deal, $450. So do not miss out on this opportunity, guys, before someone else snags it before you do. And next up here we have this other great option for $800 a month. And with that, you get this Rottweiler piss infested mattress. Yeah, it looks really comfortable, guys. B&B styled, really great. I love it. And next up, we have this Studio 1 bath, $800 a month. And yeah, if anyone is practicing DIY medical services, this is a great opportunity. Amazing price, great location. Please inquire, serious inquiries only. Thank you. And last but not least, here we have this great space here. Look how functional, great use of the space, okay? Only $13.50 a month for this room. Please, I need this. I need it right now. And you know, if you're looking to furnish any of these places, this great white office chair, need gone. Peeling outer layer, but works perfectly. Okay, good. I'm relieved to find that out. Yeah, office chair need gone. Who did you use to torture on this chair that you need this evidence discarded, that you can't throw this in the damn trash yourself? I want to get off this planet. I'm done.
Am I the only one that thinks that it is morally wrong to move from other areas like California or Washington State, move to cheaper areas like my home state, Ohio, and start buying up all of the houses and properties and pricing out the locals? I was on my For You page, and there was this 19-year-old that moved to Cleveland, Ohio, and was honest, being honest about why he moved to Cleveland, is about how he wanted to buy up all of these properties in Cleveland and be a landlord, basically, and pretty much price people out of their own neighborhood. And I feel like there should be laws with this. I think like in this day and age, like that's so morally wrong. And the fact that this like 19-year-old is just being like so free and open about it, like you have to be a pretty fucked up person to do shit like that. Like be a part of the solution, not the problem. Like you are the problem of why people are being priced out of their neighborhoods. And I didn't really realize this until I moved to Tennessee, but it has happened so bad in the state of Tennessee where a lot of people from California have moved here. Not only moved here, but they've invested, bought up a lot of the properties, and people can't even afford their own city anymore because they can't afford to buy a house because they're all owned by investors and big corporations. And I just don't understand like why people continue to do this. It's a monopoly, and you're messing with people's like homes, you know, their hometowns. And I think this is slowly going to become a reality in Ohio. And I think people in Ohio are a little too nice and are being a little too friendly to people like this. I was like looking at this guy's comments in his videos, and everyone was so nice. They were like, oh, you should check out this and this. If you do that in Tennessee and say that you're buying up properties in Tennessee, everyone in Tennessee is like, go back to California. Don't California my Tennessee. Like, that's how Ohio people should be. Like, it should... Like, I just don't understand, like, any of that. Like, it is morally wrong to price people out of their hometowns, I guess. I don't know. Be a part of the solution, not the problem.
People need to also understand that a lot of the reason that the foreclosure rate is not higher and isn't at that 2008 level yet is because the banks don't know what to do right now. There are thousands of banks across the US right now that have a foreclosure list so big they don't know where to start. There have been 228,000 foreclosures in the first 6 months of this year. I want you to sit on that number for a second. That is 250,000 fucking people in this country that were so bad off financially that there was no other route that they lost their homes. With the rate of inflation and the rate at which AI is taking people's jobs, this is only going to get worse. We've reached that level where there's no turning back. This bubble is going to pop. It is just a matter of when.
My buddy works in Dallas, Texas, and he works for a bank. And he said to me, Drayton, we have so many houses that we could close in foreclosure that we're not because we don't know what to do. We literally have thousands and thousands and thousands of homes we could close on tomorrow. We could foreclose tomorrow. There are some people that haven't made a payment in over a year. He goes, thousands of people haven't made a payment in 6 months. But the bank doesn't know what to do. The bank's like, if we close on all of them, we put the people out, we don't have people to put in the houses. So now we have empty houses. So banks don't know what to do. That's how bad it is just in the Dallas area. I'm not talking San Antonio, Austin. I'm talking about just the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Thousands of homes that are way behind on payment. Payments haven't been made in over a year. And the banks are not foreclosing yet because they simply don't know what to do. They have so many that they don't have a plan on what to do if all those thousands of houses were empty. That's how bad it's getting. And this is just the beginning, because sooner or later you got to get the people out of these houses. And this is going to cause a calamity, and it's literally a ticking time bomb. When does it go off? This month? Next month? 6 months from now? I don't know, but I can promise you this is the same situation in Georgia, Tennessee, Florida. Yeah. it's going to get really, really bad. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like and follow for more.
I love my house. I'm going to start off by saying that. I love this house. When I was home shopping back in 2021, I chose this house on purpose. The only way I can describe it to people was that it's a house full of love, and you could feel it when you walked in the door. As soon as I walked in the front door of this house, I knew this was my house. I knew it. It sounds completely insane, but maybe you understand that when I walked in, I knew it was mine. And I do love this house. I love everything about this house. But I've come to the realization that I can't stay here because I can't afford to. And it's not that I can't afford the house payment. It's because there's so much wrong. I got a home inspection that wasn't worth the paper it was written on. And if you look back in my TikToks, I've done videos about the multiple things wrong at this house before. It has just been one thing after another, and the list of things that I have to fix is tens of thousands of dollars long. And me as a single person with one income, I can't afford to do all of this on my own. And it makes me really sad because when I bought this house, this was supposed to be my forever home. This was supposed to be my, I'm going to be here until I die or go to the nursing home. And I can't afford to stay here. I don't even know what to advise people. Like, people ask me, what do you recommend for people buying their first house? I have no idea, because I also have friends who bought brand new homes that have issues. The one thing I would say is to just be financially and mentally prepared for the fact that owning a home can completely financially ruin you. And that's where I'm at today. This house has quite literally bankrupted me. And I'm devastated because I love this house. But unless I win the lotto or marry a rich husband, there's no way I can possibly fix all the things wrong here. So anyway, that's all I got.
You know, it's crazy. I made a video yesterday about the banks and how the banks are scared of what to do, what action to take right now, because they have a list of people that are 3, 4, 5, 6 months delinquent on their mortgages right now, that they know they aren't the only banks holding lists like that. It's every other fucking neighboring bank. It's them and their brothers too. If they decide to foreclose on this, it will crash the fucking market. And they know that. That is why the foreclosure rate has not hit the rate that it was in 2008. They're holding on to it. They're choosing not to go after these people that are legitimately delinquent on their mortgages because they know what comes if they do. This is what happens when you have a market where the fucking price of homes gets so overinflated and people's wages stay stagnant for decades, going up, maybe 5% when the price of their home has changed 50%. These numbers do not coerce. This is what happens. This is a direct result of inflation. People not being paid enough and prices continuing to fucking skyrocket, especially fucking tax rates. Oh my God. People starting off, fucking 10 years ago had an $800, $900 a year payment for their taxes that are looking at $4,000 and $5,000 fucking dollars in a decade. It's bad, guys. Ask any of your friends that work at banks. Ask any of your friends that lend money on a housing level. Ask any of them. The market's scary right now. We're cooked, y'all. We're fucking cooked.
One of the toughest phone calls I've had to make recently started with a past client of mine telling me
Very sad that many of us are starting our lives or trying to settle down and won't be able to because of how fast housing prices keep going up. I've talked to people who've closed on a home only 4 years ago and their house was well under half of what it is now. It makes me want to give up on trying to save for a home, and I know many feel the same way. Let me know what you think about this video in the comments. But most importantly, thank you for being here.